So this afternoon, I will share a few of Spokane County's amazing accomplishments from the past year and plans for the year ahead. Spokane County is continuing to grow, and we are a region of over 550,000 people, making us the fourth most populous county in the state of Washington. With that growth comes the need for investment to keep our communities safe, vibrant, and healthy. This year, I'll be sharing how we are building our future by enhancing public safety, making smart community investments, right-sizing our budget, building critical infrastructure, and helping those struggling to get the help they need. I want to start with enhancing public safety. Our first responsibility of government is keeping our citizens safe. As your Board of County Commissioners, we see that as our #1 priority. Sheriff John Knowles, would you please join me on stage to discuss how we are enhancing public safety in our community? So I will turn it over to the sheriff.
First, I would like to talk about a few statistics so you understand the workload that the sheriff's office is responsible for on a year-to-year basis. And so you can see that from October 1st, 2023 to September 23rd of 2024, Spokane County deputies responded to a little over 70,000 calls for service. And you can see the breakdown there, but that includes all of our self-initiated activity, all of our calls for service, and you can see that about 11,000 and change of those incidents turn into cases that have to be investigated by detectives or deputies after the initial call. So you can see in this graph from 2008 to 2023, the calls for service from citizens in Spokane County increased by 70%. From 2008, it went from just a little shy of 27,000 calls for service to now eclipsing 45,000. So you can see the rapid increase in calls for service of our public. So you hear a lot about officers per thousand and the per capita rate. I will say that the national average of officers per thousand is 2.4 nationwide. The state of Washington ranks dead last, even behind the District of Columbia in officers per thousand, with the average being 0.4. You can see in 2008, unincorporated Spokane County, and I will say still today we are funded at 1.0 officers per thousand. And even as the population has climbed, it has become very, very difficult to hire and retain law enforcement, in particular since about 2020. And there's a myriad of reasons for that. But you can see in 2023, our average officers per thousand in unincorporated Spokane County was 0.68. I will say that I'm happy to report that we have hired going on almost 40 people here in 2024, and we expect to be back up to the 1.0 officers per thousand by early spring next year. One of the things that I am very excited to report about, and something that has been a significant partnership and investment from the Board of County Commissioners, is the Sheriff's Office Real-Time Crime Center. About 18 months ago, I went to the Board of County Commissioners and asked them for about $3.4 million for an investment in technology and 4 full-time employees to make a difference in reducing violent crime in our neighborhoods and having a significant impact on property crimes because frankly, it was really hard to find cops. And I will say that in the last 10 months, we have been able to implement this technology, which consists of license plate reading cameras, about 90 regionally, pan tilt zoom cameras, and a couple of mobile camera platforms. And I'm happy to report we have had some very, very great success that has far exceeded our expectations. And so you can see from these slides some of the successes and the impacts the Real-Time Crime Center has had here in Spokane County. So far in about 10 months, we have solved 302 incidents successfully with information and intelligence derived from the Real-Time Crime Center and some of our electronic surveillance platforms. We have recovered 108 stolen vehicles with the Real-Time Crime Center alone. I would like to add that you're going to see a report here pretty quick about FBI statistics in 2023. Washington State had a 24% reduction in vehicle theft rate, although we are still #2 in the nation for vehicle thefts. But I'm happy to report, and I believe because of what we've done with the Real-Time Crime Center, we have an over 34% reduction in Spokane County in stolen vehicles. Could we go back? We have identified 50 suspect vehicles, and that's for all sorts of crimes from homicides in both in the city of Spokane and in the county, drive-by shooting, suspects, all manner of crimes. We have located 47 different suspect vehicles using our ALPR technology. And probably most importantly, we were able to locate and take back 11 missing persons in Spokane County. Something that you may have seen in Spokane County and even in the city recently, maybe out at the Avista Stadium, maybe you saw it out at the fair, is a vehicle that looks like this. And we call them our cameras on wheels, also known as a cow. This is something I'm very proud of what my staff came up with. You've also seen mobile surveillance trailers, which frankly they retail for about $80,000 a piece. My excellent staff that serve their community very well were able to build these units that have just as much, maybe even more capability than those trailers for about $16,000 to $18,000 a piece. So I'm proud to announce that we have 4 of these vehicles specifically. We are going to add more. But what they do, and I will tell you, every time we place one of these trailers or vehicles in an area that is experiencing high crime, there is an immediate and abrupt stop to what is going on there. They're a very effective tool, and they are helping us put more eyes out on the street at a time when it's very expensive and very hard to find police officers to put on a street. So I will tell you that this is one of the most exciting programs we have. It has put the Spokane County Sheriff's Office at the forefront of technology and policing. They have been nationally recognized for the work they are doing, and I'm proud to report we are having a significant impact on the crime in our community. I will tell you, it is my pleasure to be your sheriff, and I am honored to serve you. Thank you.
As a board, we must confront the realities of today. Too many in our community no longer feel safe. And as the sheriff just stated, while crime overall may be going down, violent and serious crimes still continue. That is why this fall, Spokane County is asking the voters to renew the existing sales and use tax for juvenile detention facilities and jails. Many around the state regard Spokane County as a leader in juvenile justice. For nearly 30 years, voters have renewed the measure several times, most recently in 2015, with almost 70% of the vote in favor. So to help educate voters on what the measure funds, we have prepared this short video.
On July 16, 2024, the Spokane County Board of Commissioners adopted a resolution to ask voters in the upcoming general election on November 5th whether they want to renew the existing sales and use tax for juvenile detention facilities and jails. Since 1995, voters have approved the 0.1% countywide sales and use tax each time presented to the community. The tax generated $15.8 million for the county in 2023, supporting 140 personnel consisting of corrections officers, probation counselors, medical professionals, administrative staff, and facility maintenance. Funding fully covers expenses for operating juvenile detention facilities and partially covers costs associated with operations and maintenance of our Spokane County jails. This source of funding supports individuals in detention in making positive changes, while also holding them accountable to protect public safety. The renewal request comes as juvenile court has seen felony offense referrals increase by 25%, and gross misdemeanor and misdemeanor offense referrals increase by 44%. The countywide sales and use tax is paid for by residents and tourists who visit the area. In Washington state, items exempt from sales tax typically include most grocery foods, prescription medicines, and rent for residential properties. The existing tax is set to expire at the end of 2025 and, if it is not renewed, would lead to a significant budget shortfall. The estimated $16 million shortfall would likely require cuts to discretionary programming services provided to individuals in our juvenile detention facilities and jails, along with other county services and programs. Learn more about Measure 1 on our website, at SpokaneCounty.org.
As I stated earlier, our juvenile detention facilities and jails are required by state law. Protecting public safety and holding offenders accountable often means needing to place individuals in detention. I encourage you to learn more about the ballot measure by scanning your QR code that is in your program today. There's a little QR code inside there that when I say to look at the QR code, that's where you will go to find that, and we'll have a tree there for you to get additional information. But this measure will be on the ballot this fall, and so be sure to vote by November 5th. Next, I want to talk about building our economic future and making smart community investments. I say smart as we look to invest in projects and programs that will deliver results and yield future dividends as they grow our local economy and generate future tax revenues. Here are a few examples that bring this into perspective. First, this month, the commissioners celebrated the opening of the Spokane County Interstate Fair. Hopefully, some of you got to hear the fantastic live music, watch the rodeo, and see the fair exhibit halls or visit the carnival. With your help, we had another year of strong attendance with more than 170,000 people through our gates. The 10-day annual event also delivers more than $7 million to our local economy. As you think about the fair's impact, keep in mind that it is only one of dozens of events that we get to enjoy every year at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Here's another. Almost 255,000 baseball fans visited Avista Stadium this year. I am excited to report more stadium renovations, which were constructed by Lighted Construction of Spokane, and we have more improvements for fan experience still coming, such as a new large high-definition video board in left field, replacing the existing scoreboard, a new playing surface, and spectator netting to protect fans from those foul balls. I want to thank the Spokane Indians Ownership Group, led by Bobby Brett, and the state legislature and the city of Spokane Valley for choosing to partner and invest with us in the stadium. With an annual economic impact of over $25 million, Spokane Indians baseball is an economic home run for our community while providing affordable family entertainment. And in case you missed it, our Spokane Indians just won the Northwest League Championship. Next on the community investments list is one that is genuinely all about building our future. It's Spokane International Airport's TREX project. Here's a quick look at the progress.
By 2030, more than 6.2 million passengers are expected to pass through Spokane International Airport. The Terminal Renovation and Expansion Program, TREX, aims to enhance the terminal facility to meet this growing demand, starting with the Concourse C expansion project.
Less than 19 months ago, we broke ground on this project, and it really represents an ambitious new vision to transform the air travel experience for the Inland Northwest.
Spokane is definitely on the move. This Terminal C expansion is giving Washingtonians more opportunity to go to places they want.
At the end of the day, we are investing in people who live, work, and are proud to call Spokane region home.
We put this team together to bring it to life under budget and on time and with minimal impact to the traveling public.
It's the first step in a rollout of a completely new modern airport experience for the Inland Northwest, and it could not have come at a more crucial time.
The newly constructed West expansion is only the first step of the Concourse C expansion project, the first phase of the airport's TREX program. A whole new airport experience is taking off at GEG.
Turning now to Spokane County's budget. Building our future means budgeting responsibly. It is no secret that the county, like our neighboring areas, is experiencing stagnant sales tax revenue. As all of us have seen, the cost of daily necessities in our home and our businesses increase. That is why Spokane County, like many families in the region, is doing some right sizing when it comes to our budget. So we have an annual budget of $937 million across all funds and a general fund budget of $271 million. This week, we hosted our first public budget roundtable, providing citizens with the opportunity to share input. In anticipation of a flat budget in 2025, we have asked the county departments and offices to find efficiencies while maintaining required services. Some good news, I was told by Assessor Tom Konis recently that completed new construction in Spokane County this year will top $1.5 billion, our second highest amount ever. As you will see on the screen, this totals over $5.8 billion in new construction in our region in the last 4 years alone. This is good news because it means that we are continuing to attract businesses to build and invest in Spokane County. Turning now to infrastructure. One of the best ways to build our future is by connecting our rural communities. It has been an honor to serve as the chair of the Broadlink Board, our newest countywide public development authority, or PDA as we call them. Broadlink builds on the success of our 3 existing PDAs in the Northeast, the University District, and on the West Plains. Broadlink was formed to bring reliable, affordable, high-capacity broadband access to our unserved or underserved areas. We are positioned to make considerable progress in connecting our communities with the upcoming opportunity to access new federal funding. It is my pleasure to present this video showcasing a recent South Spokane County pilot project that highlights why this work is so important. Broadlink is something different and unique.
I think this is going to be one of those game changers.
This is about making resilient communities. In Spokane County, there are 22,000 addresses that don't have adequate internet. That needs to be addressed. That's why Broadlink is here.
COVID clearly made us aware that we are not as connected as we should be as a community.
There's a different way to get connectivity here in rural America. It takes a combination of both fiber and wireless.
So Broadlink has had the opportunity to purchase through these grant funds through the Broadband Office 9 cellular on wheels, or as we very affectionately call them, our own herd of cows.
And that's to provide service to the fire department, emergency services, as well as any of the residential business or commercial locations that surround the areas where the deployment was done.
Typically, if you build a raw land tower from the ground up, you're 9 to 12 months. We did this in 45 to 60 days. So that's one thing we've shown here is that you don't have to wait. You can get this today.
We're able to make huge differences with our towers. The nice thing about it is it's mobile. As fiber gets there, we just pick it up and move it to the next dead spot.
It certainly progressed our ability to determine where emergency's at. Anything that informs decision-making helps us to mitigate an emergency.
Households can thrive, businesses can thrive, public safety can thrive, all because of this one component that was missing before that's here now.
Spokane County is being recognized for the work that they have done to make things better for not just Spokane County, for our state, and for our nation.
Yes, I thought, couldn't have been a better day.
Now to another notable example of how we are building our future on our county roads. With our region's best-known mega project, the North Spokane Corridor, that continues to make progress, Spokane County has been making progress of our own. To address challenges stemming from growth and increased freight traffic, as well as to enhance safety on what was originally a rural farm-to-market route, Spokane County developed a multi-phase plan to widen, straighten, and improve roads. When completed, this project will result in a transportation corridor that will reduce drive times, improve safety, and support freight movement across the inland Northwest. We will connect vital industrial hubs in North Spokane and Spokane Valley. As you can see on the screen, it's been a busy construction season for our Public Works team. Here again, Spokane County was able to leverage external resources and partnerships to maximize our local taxpayer dollars. These investments would not have been possible without several key state and federal partners. I want to thank the local electeds and private sector leaders who sit on a number of these state and local boards. Without them, we would not be able to leverage these dollars and make a difference for our community. Spokane County is ensuring this important corridor will meet the demands of the future and continue to serve the community for many years to come. Next, I will share how Spokane County is building our future through improving our county parks. This year, the board directed $18.7 million to improve our well-loved and well-used county parks. These improvements have been eagerly awaited by the public. Let's take a look at some of the improvements that are underway. First, we have invested $3.5 million in Bear Lake Park's renovation and improved public access. It was great to see people of all abilities who joined us to celebrate at the start of construction. Second, that same spirit of community and connectedness will soon be felt further to the east in Liberty Lake, where we have invested $4.2 million on park renovation and improved public access. The Liberty Lake Park project will also include improvements to Zephyr Road, which leads to the park entrance, and I'm eager to welcome you to the improved park that is in my district next spring. Third, at Plants Ferry Sports Complex, Spokane County is investing $5 million on the first phase of a multi-phase project to renovate soccer fields by adding turf, new lighting, and additional parking. We are also seeking additional funds from the state for the next phases of this project. If you have kids in sports, you've likely been to Plants Ferry. It is a favorite of our local youth teams. And then last but certainly not least is Camas Meadow Park on the West Plains, where Spokane County is investing $6 million to purchase land and construct the region's newest park in a fast-growing area that truly needs local space. So look for this project to open by fall of 2025 with a softball field, playgrounds, open field space, and a community event plaza, features that people of all ages are sure to enjoy. We chose to leverage these one-time COVID funding to make a lasting investment in outdoor spaces for our residents and families and for the future of our community. Looking forward to 2025, I will invite you to join us when we have these ribbon cuttings for each of these new and renovated parks. You will get to see these investments firsthand, and I think you'll be as excited as we are. Next, I want to talk about how we are building our future by investing in healthier communities. Like many jurisdictions around the state, we have been battling the opioid epidemic. This year, Spokane County began receiving funds from the National Opioid Settlement. In May, the Board of County Commissioners approved a comprehensive treatment and prevention plan, putting settlement dollars to work to make an immediate impact in our community. As part of our plan, we are investing in 4 priority areas to combat the devastating impact of opioids, such as fentanyl, in our community. First, Spokane County allotted $200,000 annually to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office to help disrupt drug trafficking organizations. Our second investment is $600,000 awarded to Maddie's Place. Our contract with Maddie's Place funds support services for infants with neonatal abstinence syndrome, or NAS, and long-term housing and treatment support services for parents and caregivers of infants with NAS, and to achieve long-term success by keeping those families together. The third investment is a $1.2 million contract for immediate treatment, direct treatment services for those currently struggling with addiction and mental health challenges. This funding will expand our community's immediate capacity for desperately needed sobering and mental health triage services. We hope to award this contract in the very near future to tackle this pressing need. Fourth, by working diligently with our local, state, and federal partners, we are addressing the long-term need for helping people in crisis. We have dedicated $5.2 million for a 23-hour crisis relief and sobering center expansion project. When completed, this 24-bed expansion will fill a critical gap in addressing the mental health and substance abuse challenges facing our community. It will build on the successful work of our Regional Crisis Stabilization Center near the county campus. Let's look at how this project will change lives for the future. As county commissioners and as community members, we all have been touched by this opioid epidemic and what's happened in our communities. We've talked to friends who have lost loved ones. We may have loved ones that we've lost. And so as county commissioners, it is so important to us to do everything we can to make sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else in the future.
Spokane County Regional Stabilization Center represents an early investment by Spokane County to address the behavioral health needs within the community. Since that time, there's been an identified need for expanded services, especially as it relates to immediate access. In response to the behavioral health needs within the community, Spokane County has embarked on an exciting new endeavor, developing and building the Crisis Relief and Sobering Center.
This project is an expansion that provides strategic intervention and allows for walk-in immediate access to care. It also provides another resource and avenue for families to seek the treatment and care for their loved ones that they deserve.
Really, right now, we don't have a lot of resources in our community for people who don't necessarily fit into one of the categories that we have to fit them into. To take them to a hospital, an emergency room, or even a jail cell isn't the appropriate place. I mean, our lack of jail space is a well-known problem in this community, and these sobering centers and these stabilization centers offer a place where we can take people to get sober, get the stabilization care they need, and we are critically lacking that in this community right now.
When you're dealing with a crisis, there's not a lot of happy stories with it, right? You're dealing with folks who are addicted to drugs that are flowing regularly into our community, and trying to stem the flow of that stuff, which is one side. But then you have to have an ability to treat people who are in those crises. We were able to go back and look at what the county had received to date in opioid settlement dollars, and it was approximately $8 million. So our BHASO went out and did a series of interview questions and surveys with our community, providers who are in this space, community members who have been impacted by it, and allowed them to give feedback as to where they think the dollars should be used at. Through the Board of County Commissioners work and the priorities that were set, we put $5 million towards the creation of a crisis relief and sobering center. That is construction that will be underway probably within the next 9 months.
So we used our opioid settlement dollars that came into our community to do this investment here, as well as we're looking to our federal and state partners to continue to further invest in now and in the future for this project.
We're super excited about the expansion that we're doing right now from the justice perspective. These interventions and these diversion programs help to reduce recidivism for the jail and give them an opportunity to get their needs addressed.
We've had such a gaping hole in our community that is being filled by this facility, and that's just invaluable. And I know there are numerous examples where we have people who have been really in crisis, and now they've gone in, received treatment, been stabilized, and now some of them, they're employees at the stabilization center helping other people.
I love working here. Being a part of other people's recovery is the foundation of my recovery. You know, a lot of people that go through addiction and homelessness experience a lot of trauma, myself included. And so with me, I just try to be the person that I needed when I was going through the same stuff that they're going through.
So the benefit of the new center versus the stabilization center that we already have is that this is expanding upon that, and this is adding to it. So this is adding that 23 hours of crisis relief that is necessary. So that way we can get the people stabilized for either sobering needs or mental health needs. You don't have to be justice involved. This is for anyone in the community.
We recognize that this is an ambitious project and we have a lot more work ahead of us. And we just want to say thank you to not only our community and our partners, but the staff at Spokane County for all the work and efforts that they put into this thus far as we look towards the future.
The Spokane County Commissioners are excited and hopeful for the future of our community and are committed to the health and well-being of our citizens. On behalf of all of us at Spokane County, please know that we value your support for our mission. Thank you for your time today, and I hope you'll engage with us in this work as we continue to build our future.